Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. Had a question from Bill the Tractor Man. And if you're into older gas tractors, go check out Bill's YouTube channel, Bill the Tractor Man. And I'll put a link in the description below. But Bill says, I am curious about fall implement pricing. I have a few dealers I have been in contact with over the summer about buying a used brush mower. Sadly, they just do not come up with much for trade-in or sale. I was wondering if, in your experience, dealers would put good deals on summer implements to get them sold before the snow flies. And he would prefer to buy used, but new would work too. Great question, Bill. I've done videos about when to buy a tractor, trying to time it so you get a great deal, and that's pretty tough. Implements are a little different, and you ask really two parts of the question, and you ask about used. Let's talk about that first. My experience in used brush hogs or bush hogs, that's a brand name, but a lot of people call them that, is used get traded in when they're wore out or they've got something wrong with them. Very seldom does a person bring in their 6-foot cutter and trade for a new 6-foot cutter just because they wanted to upgrade, unless they have a tax situation. On some of the bigger equipment get traded in for tax purposes for real farmers, but the little stuff you almost never see that. Now, when you will see somebody trade it in, if they go to a bigger tractor or they find out they've got enough horsepower to pull a bigger cutter, they'll trade, and those don't stay around long, and they maintain their value. They won't be cheap. So if I traded for a like new Rhino cutter or Woods cutter, Land Pride cutter, Bush Hog, whatever, Frontier, I'm going to have a premium price on that, and it will bring it, because good used brush hogs just almost don't exist. So that's part one of the question. The time to find them, usually if you're going to find one, people are trading brush hogs in like June, July, August period, at least across the Midwest, maybe earlier in the South and later up north, but that's when we sell them. That's part one of the question. So finding a good used one is usually pretty tough. The second part of the question, if I'm going to buy new this time of year, and I'm recording this in November, is this a good time to shop? Well, it very well could be. What usually happens in my experience, now I've been out of the dealership world for 5 years, so it may not still be the same way, but the way it was when I left, and I assume it's still the same way, is the order writing program for new brush cutters usually occurs right in the middle of when you're selling them. And that makes a lot of sense from a sales standpoint. If I'm the bush hog rep, and I'm calling on my dealers, I want to get them to order when they're selling a lot of my product and turning it quickly. So back in the day when I was in the business, you did order writing, I think in August. And so, I mean, things are really popping and you're selling a lot of stuff. And so the company wants you to order when you're turning a lot of inventory. So you order heavy and they get to build a lot. So let's say in August you ordered next year's supply, and then all of a sudden the sales just stopped. And usually what causes that's a weather event, or it could be economy. If the weather turns off hot and dry in August and the dealer's ordered heavy, he may keep a lot of those machines on his lot and not move them, and now we get new shipments of next year's model, which of course is going to be more expensive. Usually there's a price increase. And so if that's the case, or if the economy kind of tanked, something happened bad in the economy and people are scared and are not spending money, then we could have an inventory situation, and that's what usually brings a bargain in a brush cutter, is an inventory problem. You've got too many. And so to answer your question, Bill, this is a great time. Now, I wouldn't get in the car and start driving around and just looking. I'd get on the phone and call all the dealers around you and ask, do you have last year's inventory? Ordered, let's see, in 2018, shipped in 2019, and now we've got the 20s getting ready to come in. Usually there'll be a price increase every year, 2 to 3, 4%. And so what's coming in is the same thing as what's there, it's just more expensive. So if they've got an overabundance of last year's inventory and next year's inventory coming in, the last year's inventory is going to already be a bargain, but sometimes they're just a little, if a dealer gets nervous, and dealers react in different ways, if they think they're going to have a glut of inventory, they might discount that old inventory to get it flushed out. So Bill, first thing is to get on the phone, call around to the local dealerships and see if anybody's got last year's inventory still in stock. And if they have a lot of one model, it might be a good time to buy. And they'll usually tell you, yeah, I'm sitting on some inventory, come on in, I'll deal with you. And if they don't have any old inventory laying around, there's really no reason to buy right now. You can just save your money till spring. Likely the price is not going to change unless you're the kind of guy that likes to keep all of the your equipment inside, buy it and put it in the barn and keep it out of the weather over the winter. But if that doesn't matter to you, there's really not a good reason to buy right now. Just wait and buy when you need it if they don't have old inventory. If you're totally new to tractors, never been around them, don't understand all the nomenclature and the options and everything like that, so maybe you moved out to the country and you're thinking about buying your first tractor, I've written a book called An Insider's Guide to Purchasing a Tractor. It's available at my website right here. I also did a video about the right time of year to buy a tractor, and it's right here. And if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'd be honored. Click the mic face icon and make sure you check the bell so you're notified when I post videos. Thanks for watching.